Welcome, Panther fans, to another edition of Panther Preview Summer Workout. Coach, tell us what's going on.
Wow, if you can take a look out here, you see our freshmen are out doing 110s right now, and we've averaged about 18 to 20 freshmen every day this summer. Very happy about that. Our varsity guys are in the weight room. They're getting ready to come out, and they've done a really good job. Out of the guys we have on roster, 88% of them are in double-digit workouts right now. We're closing in on about 10 workouts left in the rest of the summer. So those guys that are on the bubble need to make sure they're getting up and getting here early and taking care of those workouts. But just been very proud of what we've been doing in the weight room. The work's been tremendous. They're encouraging each other and just being able to lift each other up and be around each other and have build that camaraderie that you're going to need come August, building it here in June.
Well, I would ask you if they were working hard, but right now I'm looking over at the garbage can. We've got one hugged up at the garbage can, so you know they're working hard. You know, as far as attendance throughout this workout process, how is the attendance?
It is really good, and like I said, we're at 88% of our guys have got double digits. When y'all showed up today, I was tallying workouts so far. I'm through about the first 22 guys, and out of those 22 guys, I think all but about 3 of them have 15 or more workouts already. So that's a really good thing for us. Just really excited about that. But you know, from a conditioning standpoint, we started out with 8 110s. We had 8 110s. That was our first test for them. We've built up every week. Now we're on I think this is week 4. I believe it's week 4, and we're up to 14. And we give them about 30 seconds rest in between each one, and we give them a specific time that they've got to make for them, and they're really going out and pushing themselves in that. But we weight room wise though, we're pushing some heavy weight right now. We're getting down to where next week is going to be more of our heaviest week, where we do sets of 1 just to see what our gains have been this summer. But those guys that have been resting, those guys that have been eating, those guys that have been lifting, you can definitely start to see a change in their bodies.
That's great. You know, when the season ended last year, you know, and we set goals for this year, one of the things that y'all talked about a lot was mental toughness.
Right.
You know, physical, you know, I see the physical toughness. They're out here, they're working, they're doing they're putting the work in. Mentally, how are they?
They're really pushing through a lot of adversity. I mean, we've had some really hot days in the last week, you know, and which brings us up to one of the tragedy struck Moss Point with the tornadoes coming through over there. A lot of our guys have been going over and helping out family members and those kind of things over in Moss Point with a lot of the trees that came down and in yards over there. And in fact, today after workout, several of our guys are going over to help out people over in West Moss Point and pick up and help them in their yards and get back together. And you know, that's always a big thing. But the weather's been kind of nutty this week. You know, Monday was just a really terrible weather day for us. Moss Point caught the worst end of it. Yeah. And our prayers go out to them and the Tiger Nation, because you know a lot of our kids have family over there, and I've got deep roots there as well. And you know, reached out to a lot of my friends that live over by the stadium, and all of them seem to have come out pretty good. They have some trees in their yards and stuff, but the physical damage weren't as bad for some of the homes as it was for the high school itself and the press boxes and the baseball field, and then downtown, of course. You know, First Baptist Church got hit pretty bad, and M&M Bank got hit pretty good. So there's a lot of prayers going out from our community to that community, because they do interact and crisscross so much.
Right. And yesterday I did something that I've never done in my life. I donned a Moss Point baseball cap. I'm part of the Elks Lodge 1120, the Pascagoula Elks Lodge, and we passed out 200 meals within the community yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I had Coach Turner with me.
Oh yeah.
And of course he gives me a hat and he says, "Hey, look, buddy, today we're all Moss Point." And I agree with that statement. You know, right now we are, even though we're Pascagoula, we're here, we're working, and we're striving to get better. The feeling within the community is we are Moss Point.
That's absolutely right. We're here to help out in any way we can. There's a lot of other things that are going on that are in the works to help the community out from this side to that side, and we're just very, very, very happy with what our kids called me up on Tuesday morning and said, Coach, we're going over to help clean up. I said, come check in with me. If you check in with me, that'll count as your workout today. Some of them got their workouts, and then they'll leave and go help out over there. And what we've told them today is come in, get your workout. After we get our workout, let's go over to West Moss Point and help out and do anything we can do.
Well, I'll tell you that it makes the heart feel good to see the community come together like this. I know that usually whenever I'm in Moss Point, out and about, there's that competitiveness. Somebody will come up to me, and of course they're going to spout out about Pascagoula, but there was none of that. There was a lot of welcoming. There were a lot of, hey, we appreciate it, thank you. And that's what we need.
And that's who we are. Yep. That's who we are. Mississippi Gulf Coast, Jackson County, South Jackson County especially. That's who we are, and it wouldn't matter what the community. We're here to help, but it's a little more close to home when it's right up the street in Moss Point.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to what we're doing here, and let me ask you: as far as standouts, has anybody stood out during this off season, leadership wise?
Really seen some of our older guys really step up, and one guy in particular that has really shared a piece of himself and really tried to lead in the right way. Jaden Webb's done a really good job this summer. My seniors have been teaching our leadership classes on Wednesday. Tristan Fortenberry, Brian Barnes Jr., they've done a really good job of stepping up and getting involved. Lamont Harris has done a really good job. Tyler Maxwell, the Squirrel, Kylan Hollings, he's done a really good job as well, and Ferron Taylor also has done a really good job for us. And I don't really want to leave anyone out, and I know I am going to leave him. Jason Payne is here every single day, just pushing everybody to be the very best they can be, and just really impressed with Jason as a leader, as a person. And I know I'm going to leave people out, but those guys have really stood out. Isaiah Marshall's been here almost every single day, working himself into shape for football season. So those guys have really done a great job. Jared Loper, coming into a sophomore year, I don't think he's missed a day.
Wow.
I think he's been here every single day. Silas has done a really good job. Corder's been here almost every single day. Those guys have done a really good job, and there's a lot resting on those two young men's shoulders right now because of their preparation and what they need to get done, learn and get ready for. But our offensive lines look really good. Our defensive lines look really good, getting in shape, getting ready to be ready to roll. And our skill guys showing up on 7-on-7 at South Alabama last week. We went over and competed, got to compete against some 7A schools from over in Alabama, and we held our own, and were able to just gauge what we need to work on as a whole. And we don't really do a whole lot of planning for 7-on-7. We just run what we run and go play somebody else, and our guys really did well. Antoine Price had an interception in that game. He had our only interception. He's an outside linebacker, going to be a junior, had a really good spring, and probably had the best spring of any linebacker we had. He did a really good job for us. So we just the improvement and the leadership, and we've been talking a lot about just coming together and avoiding the twin thieves that destroy most teams. We talked about that earlier. It's the fear of failure and the fear of judgment. The fear that if you do try to lead, you're going to fail at it, and the other fear is judgment from your peers. And we've told them that, if you always base it on the standards that we set as a program, and when you help somebody out, it's, hey man, our standards are higher than that. It doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It's, hey man, let's raise the standard, let's raise the bar. And we just, the way they interact with each other and talk to each other, because what you see on TV and what you see in television shows, it's a lot of that is hard to overcome. But we all know that I read a book earlier in the week, and
You're always reading a book.
It's called Best Team Ever, and one of the quotes in that book was talking about talent doesn't make the team makes the talent. And we talked about that on Wednesday, how important it is for us to be successful as a team. We have to focus on being a team, and that's really been the focus this entire off season. We had our leadership classes, we had our leadership seminar that we had about 14-15 kids come through during the spring, And I really think that's made a difference from getting our guys to interact with one another and understand the importance of having a leader in every locker. And a team that is led by the team is so much more powerful than a team led by coaches, because when it comes from within, it means more. And that's one of the big focuses that we've had this off season.
Well, that's great. I mean, hey, what do you say? Well, just for a few minutes, let's talk about the fundraising and that.
All right, so we had our vertical raise fundraiser, which we didn't quite meet our goal, but we were very close to it, and we were very thankful to all those who were able to support us through our vertical raise fundraiser. We got T-shirts coming out. I think, how many are we? We have 500. There's 500 of them. It has a logo on the front pocket, front left pocket, and on the back we've got the schedules on the back, and so those are going to be available. We'll let you know as soon as those are. You'll see them on Facebook, Twitter. They'll be out there. You'll be able to contact either
Price,
you or Frank Corder. They're going to be $20 a piece. So really looking forward to getting those out. I've already put in a pre-order for 5 of them. So those are there's $4.95 left. If you want to get one, you better hurry, because when they're gone, they're gone. But it's we have those. We have discount cards that are going to be available the end of July. We're going to making sure all of it are local businesses, and we're finalizing that right now. That's probably our biggest fundraiser that we do, and it's one that I use all the time because there's a lot of birthdays around my house, and I always go get a Dairy Queen birthday cake, and I've paid for it several times over just in Dairy Queen birthday cakes.
Well, a lot of people at home don't realize exactly what goes into to putting on the season, the
Right.
things, the extra things that a lot of times that the school system, it's not on their budget to do.
Right.
That the quarterback club steps up and they have to make it happen. I was quarterback club president for 4 years ago, and even then we were fighting the need money.
Well, and I think we do a really good job of being frugal and being good stewards of what we have. I mean, the most expensive things that we have to cover are helmets, shoulder pads, the equipment that we have to cover.
That has turned into a
wow.
You have to have it recertified. And,
every year the recertification process. We have half and half right now, so we send off half of the helmets one year and half the other. So our middle school helmets go off one year, our varsity helmets the next. And and that's a process too. There are teams that have missed spring football because they didn't have their helmets. Right. And so we our administration does a really good job of allowing us, as soon as our season's over, we send those puppies off so that we have them for spring. But the big thing is, I learned this from Coach Alexander. He was a master at preparation, and he was always looking to the season of want or the season of need.
Right.
He said you always want to be in a season of want, and if you take care of the things as you go throughout the years, then you don't end up needing 70 helmets at one time. So we try to order about 15 to 20 helmets a year to keep ourselves, to where we won't have 70 go out at once, and we can be in the best equipment possible. Same thing with shoulder pads. We try to order several every year so that we can stay up to date and be in the most up to date equipment possible. And had a guy one time try to sell me a helmet, and at the time he said, in our, one brand, they'll recertify them forever, and with our brand, it only recertifies them for 10 years. And I said, and so his selling point is that ours will never not be able to be recertified. I said, you want your kid in a 15-year-old helmet? He said, no. I said, I don't either. So we try to kill all of our helmets. They're 10-year helmets. After 10 years, they're gone. A new one's being replaced. And we have ours are anywhere from 2 to 8 right now. 0 to 8 years old. So we try to keep those as up to date as possible. Our entire 9 through 12 team, we're all in Speed Flexes, the Riddell Speed Flex, and that's the most current, most up to date, one of the top 3 concussion prevention helmets. Well, nothing can prevent a concussion, but most protective helmets out there according to the Virginia Tech study. So it's one of those top 3, and we've tried to do that over the last probably 8 years. We've really tried to get the very best we can for our young men so that they're protected and they feel confident when they're on the field and the equipment that they wear. And so, but yeah, other expenses like we, things that we have to, we've got to replace our half rounds. Many of them are 10 plus years old now. We got those when we first came over, and just they get weathered, they get worn,
right.
they get used constantly. They're always year round. We use them year round. The other things that we go out, we make sure we feed the team. The school pays for some of that, and the Booster Club just augments that. We feed the team during the week. We found that one of the reasons our kids were kind of having some issues on Friday nights is we weren't fueled up all week. So we have peanut butter sandwiches, bananas, apples, granola bars. We have that at their disposal all week long, starting on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Really do a good job with that, and the Booster Club does that for us. And then they provide extra things that we needed as we go. Our banquet, our awards, those kind of things are all part of what the Booster Club takes care of, and we're just very thankful for that. We're trying to raise enough money. When in the spring game, our opponent had a drone in the end zone, and it's hooked up through one of the end zone filming systems, and they were able to film the entire game from that drone.
Where we at?
So that's one of the things we're looking to with the card sales, is to be able to purchase a drone for us, and that'll be a 10-year purchase. Our end zone camera, our Booster Club bought that for us. It's a 10-year purchase. You know,
and that's
all of those things. All those things are things that are helpful. We don't have to have them,
but it puts you
above. Sure does make things easier on us as coaches and players, because when you're able to see that drone view is unbelievable. So we're just that's one of the bigger expense items that we're looking at, and just there's several little things that come up. We the right stuff and liquid IVs and those kind of things in South Mississippi heat.
Yeah.
Those are things that our kids have found that helps them in the fourth quarter. And we had a cramping issue a couple of years ago. We were quarantined for 2 weeks, got back from quarantine on a Wednesday. We played a game on a Friday, and I've never had as many people cramp up as I did that night, and I haven't had as many combined since that one night. And a lot of that is a testament to the Booster Club stepping up, saying, hey, what can we do to help? We identified the problem as a nutrition problem and a hydration problem, so we cured that, and now our kids love the right stuff. They love the liquid IVs, and we have that for them, and they'll take that about 30 minutes before game time, and it helps regulate their body temperature, and it also helps to hydrate them. It gives them magnesium, sodium, a lot of the other trace elements or trace minerals that they need in their bodies. And then at halftime, for our heavy sweaters, we're able to give them that as well. And that really helps out from a mental toughness standpoint. If I got the right stuff in me, then I can put the right stuff on the field.
Well, it's always been, we're artificial turf now, and it sort of, to me, it holds the heat. It might be 95 degrees here,
yeah,
but it's going to be 98 to 100 degrees on the field.
Right, and we're very fortunate with our type of the filling that we have doesn't get nearly as hot as the rubber tire. So we're fortunate in that, because our shoes don't melt. A lot of guys, their shoes melt when they get out there. So, but it's been a really good summer. Like we use barrels for our defense. I'll just give you another example of what the quarterback of the club does. So Coach Bishop wants to get 4 sets of barrels so that we set them up in full quadrants, and first group gets up and we run our barrel drill. It's alignment and assignment, and we do that. We can get 4 reps in very quickly, and the 4 reps usually takes less than 45 seconds, and in a 15-minute team period, you look, that you're looking at 4 times 15. That's 60 reps that we can get in a 15-minute period. So we can get our 1s go in, 2s go in, 1s go in, 2s go in. So we're getting each group, our 1s and 2s are getting 30 reps in 15 minutes. And about football, it's all about training those eyes and recognizing formations and getting aligned and assigned. And defensively, if you can align and assign, the rest is effort. So if you can do your alignment, you can do your assignment, then your effort to the ball, that's what great defenses are predicated on. And then offensively, of course, the Booster Club bought us a jugs machine that our kids use relentlessly, worn out I don't know how many balls. They also helped us out with a timer. So we're able to time our kids in the flying 10, flying 40. We're going to order some more chips for that, so that instead of 6 chips, we can have maybe 20 chips. And if we have 20 chips, our time and just it cuts our time in about a half. So we don't have to waste as much time getting those kids timed, and we have that data for college coaches when they come in.
Well, I'll tell you, let me just say this real quick. Panther fans, there are multiple places that you can buy a Pascagoula High School shirt, but only one place you can buy that Pascagoula High School football shirt that 100% of the profits are going to go to the Pascagoula High School football team, and that's with the Pascagoula Quarterback Club. So be sure, if you're looking for the Panther merchandise, talk to one of your players, buy the shirt from us, because that money definitely goes into this program. So other than that, I'll tell you, we've talked about a lot of things today. Is there anything that we might have left out?
We do have a dead time coming up. We're going to finish our workouts for the summer on June 30th with an earlier start date for school on July 20th. We're going to give our players off the first 2 weeks of July. So teachers report back on July 17th. We'll have open gym workouts from 3 o'clock to about 6 o'clock in the afternoon on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And then July 20th, we come right back to school, and we're back at it full time. Really looking forward to this new schedule. I think it's going to benefit a lot of people in a lot of ways that they don't even realize right now. So we're giving them those first 2 weeks of July off, and I think that's really going to make them hopefully chomp at the bit to get back to football on the 17th.
Well, Coach, I'm already ready. So, hey, I appreciate you taking the time. I know that we sort of intrude on your practice time, but thank you, and until we can do it again.
All right, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.